And this is why I love my boss. This just happened last night. I work at a small mom and pop pizza place in a small town. We're the only not gas station pizza place in town. Friday nights get busy. So my boss is cooking and I'm waitressing. The cook cooks and the waitress does everything else. It would be nice to have two of us, but we manage and the people of our town expect it and respect it after all these years. It's busy. I've got several tables and the phone has been ringing off the hook with to-go orders. I've got piles of dishes. Someone is constantly at the register and food is constantly ready to go out. My customers are being great. Everyone is smiling and laughing and not worried that things are taking a bit longer than a Tuesday night. I was busy but not stressed yet. Then he calls. Some guy from out of town. There was a high school game, so we had a few out of towners that night. He orders a large thin crust. Our thin crust is very thin. About as thin as a cracker crust, but it's not crispy like that. Pizza with pepperoni. Easy peasy. He wants it well done. Can do. He wants us to put it in the oven for an extra 5 minutes. I say okay with zero intention of doing that. We have a brick oven. Our thins go in the oven for 3-4 minutes. 4.5 for well done. That's total. This guy wants 5 extra minutes on top of that. He wants a 16-inch charcoal hockey puck. I assume he thinks he knows what he's talking about and just put on the ticket well done. We do our thing. His pizza looks beautiful. He comes to pick it up and before paying he opens the box to inspect his pizza. This is normal and I'm not worried. Him. I asked for my pizza well done. Me. This is how we make our pizzas well done. Any more than this and your pizza will burn. Him. I'm not paying for this. I'm not eating this. I want a new one and I want it how I ordered. Put it in for 5 more minutes. At this point my boss taps me on the shoulder and tells me to take over the cooking while he handles the customer. Our kitchen abuts the register counter. I'm literally making pizza 5 feet away from the interaction, so I get to hear the whole thing. My boss tries to tell the guy how long we usually cook the pizzas, what's going to happen to his pizza etc etc. Customer is having none of it. He wants this pizza cooked the normal time plus an additional 5 minutes. After a few minutes I can tell my boss has had enough of this guy. Boss, sure you don't just want this pizza, meaning the one we had already made. Guy says no, so my boss brings it out to one of our regulars and let him have it. He comes back to the guy and informs him if he wants his cooked for 9 minutes he needs to pay first. Guy seems satisfied and pays. I hop back to waitressing and boss takes over cooking and making this guy his pizza. It goes in the oven looking beautiful. Boss sets the timer for 9 minutes and makes sure to show the guy the timer. He just smiles and chuckles a little. I'm bussing tables and checking people out and answering the phone while we wait on this guy's pizza. The timer goes off for his pizza. Guy comes closer to the counter. It's my job to cut the pizza as soon as boss man puts it in the box. He lifts this solid black, hardest charcoal hockey puck out of the oven and sets it in the box. You can barely tell it's a pizza anymore. I attempt to cut it, but it is so overcooked it more or less just cracks and crumbles. My back is to him so I can't see his face, but I can imagine. I close the box, turn and hand it to him with a smile on my face. Me. Enjoy your pizza, sir. Guy stutters a bit. I can't eat that. Boss, we made your pizza to order. If you want a new pizza you'll need to order a new one and pay for that. The guy has this completely broken look on his face. I was actually almost looking forward to a blow up. My boss is a force to be reckoned with if you curse or disrespect us. He left his pizza on the counter and left. This is why I love my boss. Your boss is a goddamn savage and I love it. Always listen to the experts, and don't fuck with the people who make your food. The best part is that he will bend over backwards for you, unless you're an asshole. Sometimes I wonder how we stay in business with all the discounts and freebies he gives away. But people love him for his fairness and generosity. He's about 70 and still working hard. People also love an old guy. LOL. Depending on long-time plans, that might be a conversation worth having. A friend's dad had a similar business and was well liked and generous to people. When the man passed and his son took over, he realized the company was massively in debt and those discounts and gifts were running the place down. Despite his efforts he couldn't salvage it and they shit down within a few years. Everyone blames the son for running his father's business into ground and leaving a bunch of people without jobs. Parts of his family still don't talk to him. It's hard for him to talk about because he tries so hard to not fault his dad for being a good guy, but trying to explain things just makes it look like he's using his dead dad as a scapegoat for his failings.